One has to go beyond the earth and into the atmosphere to truly understand the world. This quote from Greek philosopher Socrates brings me to today's episode of Babylon Kidcast. Greetings, everyone. I'm Kavirakal, a student here studying at Babylon National School in grade 9. And for this week's episode of Babylon Kidcast, I have with me Mr. Saroj Kumar Yadav, the parent of Parthavi Yadav from grade UKZ and a reputed pilot. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the team, all the teams of Babylon. It's a pleasure being here, and I'm so happy.
Yes, sir. So could you give us more of an introduction about yourself?
Definitely. My name is Captain Saroj Yadav. I work in Buddha Air from last 10 years, and parent, as you already said, proud parent of Parthavi Yadav. And I've done my basic training in United States, USA. Then after I came back and started flying for Buddha Air. So it's been like 10 years in aviation sector. And yeah, I belong from Janakpur. You might have known the birthplace of Sita. Yeah, that's really much about me.
Yes, I did like you mentioning you being from Janakpur. My family is also from Donsa district nearby the train station.
Okay.
So you mentioned about doing your basic training for pilot in USA. Could you share more about that?
Yeah, it was back in 2010 when I started. That was the basic training, which every pilot has to go before they started their aviation career. So that starts after my plus two. SLC. Then after plus two, I did my plus two. I got good marks, fortunately. Then after I started my research regarding the pilot training because I was so fond of it, fascinated about the science of flying background. So I started researching for it. Takes me around 2 years. Then I got to know that USA provides the best training in the world. I applied for it, got the visa in 2010, and went to United States for my basic training. So took me around 1.5 years to complete the basic training. Came back to Nepal, got the license renewed, the conversion done, and then after it take for the 2 years, I think 2 to 3 years before I started as flying as co-pilot in Bodh. So basic thing happens like that.
Yes, sir, and you mentioned about after plus two, you did all of this research and then you applied, got accepted. Was aviation and that route always the goal for you since a very small age, or did it change?
It was my dream because whenever I told you earlier that I was so fascinated about the science, how the airplane flies, and I did a lot of research. And once I was a kid, I the aviation journey started on me. When I was a kid, I saw a movie named Pearl Harbor. You might have, yeah. So after that, I was so excited to know. And by that time, there was not so much means that you guys have right now, the different means in internet and all those things. So we had to go and give a phone call, get. So there was a lot of obstacles, but I got to know one of my uncle was in aviation sector as well. So I called him. I used to call him, and he used to provide some information which he had at that time. Then after that helped me and pushed me forward. I started preparing from the school when I was in grade 8. I started pushing myself to know about more and more about aviation sector. And by that time, I was not actually. I didn't know about how the pilot, what is pilot, what they do. Basically, by that time, I just knew that pilot and engineers are the same by that time. But fortunately, when getting into it, I didn't know pilot is a different thing and engineers is different. So as a pilot, then after I started my research, gone through a lot of things, whatever the internet we had by that time, and then after, yeah, that makes me and pushed me forward. So and there was a dream. I always my father told me in the childhood that okay, you are dreaming big, but you should stay grounded with your hard work. That helped me to know about it, and from that days, yeah, I was about more or less.
Yes, I really enjoyed listening to you mention about overcoming all of these struggles and how different times were back then. And now, talking about the professional and career choosing, many people have this fear associated with flying and being up in the air. For you, was there any sort of fear at first, or if so, how did you overcome that?
To be honest, there was no fear because I was so excited. I took my first flight as a student pilot in United States, and my instructor was even he was also shocked. Oh, you didn't have any kind of fear, because that was the thing I was trying and to get to achieve, and that was my one of the moment. So it was not any kind of fear for me. There might be some kind of fear for someone, but there was no fear. I was so excited.
So basically, we have to take the excitement of flying
Yeah,
more than the risk of it.
definitely, you're right.
Yes. And now, talking about things with different risks, so your daughter Parthavi studies here at Babylon, and she's just in grade UKG. She's much younger than us. So I wanted to ask you how you feel with the changes and the growth that you've seen in her.
There is a lot of change. There is a lot of change, and I have seen, because by the time we were students and right now it's a lot of change, because of technology, you know. And yeah, I can see her studying. She can pronounce anything much easier than we used to be, because we don't did by the time we were in students, speaking fluently was like, okay, this is some kind of extraordinary students can only do. But these days, I have seen Parthavi. She used to come home. Uh, for the reason is I don't get much time to interact with her because of my flight schedules, late night home. Whenever she used to come to school at 9 o'clock, I have to sleep because I have to take flights for the whole day. And after I came, whenever I come back, already fallen asleep. So, but yeah, whenever I have time, I take her to outing, and I don't talk about much about his horror studies, because I have seen Babylon has taken a lot very good care of it. And the more fascinating things about this is what edu play, which enroll her is even she is learning, she is enjoying and learning. So that is the thing I appreciate much about this kind of education system right now we have provide. I mean, the Babylon is providing.
Yes, I really enjoyed that you mentioned EduPlay,
Yeah.
because towards pre-primary and now even towards higher grades, we really do focus and try to be based on practical learning
Mhm.
and things like that. So, aside from what you mentioned about the timing and managing all of that with her, are there any other great improvements that you've seen that you'd like to mention?
Regarding Parthavi,
Yes.
yeah, she is fearless. She can present anything anywhere. I mean, I have seen her. She's no more shy. She can present anything. She can do the dancing, singing. She can give a speech in front of a lot of people, which I'm kind of fear of. Even I'm a pilot, I fear of. I'm a very bad speaker. So that other changes which has in the childhood, the school has able to uh, get develop her in her. So that boosts a lot of confidence in which will definitely help in her further career, further studies.
Yes, you mentioned about being fearless and
Yeah.
having no fear. Even yesterday, I saw the video of her speech. It just
Yeah,
recently
I
came
was so
out, right?
proud because I wasn't able to do when I was kid. That's the change I have seen today's generations. I mean, the education system is good.
Yes, I'm so happy to hear that you think all of these great things about Babylon. And also moving towards growing up and coming back to what we said about careers, are there any sort of advice that you'd like to give to the younger generation? Because you yourself had such a great career working in such a reputed airlines, getting training internationally, but still coming back and making a good life here. So, is there anything you can share along those lines?
I would say to all the students who are pursuing career and yeah, dream big, but stay grounded with your hard work. That's the moral which I got from my father, and I advise all of you. And because there is only one thing which will move, which will take you forward in life, about career, about whatever you do in your further future. That is only thing I see is hard work, discipline, and motivation. Motivation only comes within you. Nobody can motivate you. If you want to motivate yourself, that is the main thing I would recommend. Apart from that, yeah, technology, use it wisely, because these days, technology is I see technology like a cockpit. It's very powerful, but only if you have control over it. If you don't have your control over it, technology can ruin you at any time. So use the technology wisely, have the go for the hard work, maintain your discipline, and stay focused. That are the basic things I would suggest all the students to have a good career they want.
Yes, I loved your analogy of technology being a cockpit, because at certain times the cockpit is on autopilot,
Yes.
but certain times you have to pilot it yourself. And there are multiple simulations, there are multiple things running at once, all that we have to learn to control.
Yes. Even a single button there is not uselessly given. You have to know about it. That's the reason I told you cockpit is also, technology is also like a cockpit. You have to get control, because everything there has been given. The use of it is designed with a lot of research, with a proven research. And, with and once I remember one thing, which I was in schooling, training phase in USA. My instructor used to tell me that okay, the rule of book, the United States rule book is called FARM. So he used to tell me everything's written in FARM is written by bloods. So that means the mistakes which happened earlier, that is the set of rules has, according to that, no more mistakes could happen now onwards. So we have to follow each and every rules. So that makes me disciplined, and that's what I would suggest you all get. The most important thing in life is discipline. Discipline regarding your study, discipline regarding sports, discipline regarding your whatever you do. If you maintain your discipline, if you follow the rules, if you actually get into the hard works, definitely getting a better life, a better career is nothing than upper.
Yes, that was a really powerful analogy, sir. And I also want to come and ask you, are there any notable flight stories that you can share with us?
There is a lot of events which I have gone through, because it's been 10 years of flying. And notable means sometimes we have to act like the thing is I don't have any kind of emergency right till date, but there was so many incidents, technical issues which comes along with our flying. That is the used normal things, because of sometimes the weather is very bad. Sometimes technical issue happens in the aircraft because it's a machinery thing is used to happen. And if you want, okay, there was a incident when I was flying to Bairava, and we have a old age patient, passenger. She was around 60-65 years, so she has a problem of breathing. And then after, okay, flight attendant called me, sir, she is having some kind of trouble in her breathing. So there was no one on the board. Doctor, usually we used to see if there is any doctors on board, so he or she can give her the primary treatment. Then after I continued to Bhairava, because the distance remaining was less than to return back to the base in Kathmandu. I land there, and then after, while I raised call to their known person, and the ground person took over, and I didn't know who she was. Literally, when I asked the name of the patient, okay, can you provide me the name of the patient? And she was my school teacher, uh, from grade, from 5 or 6, I don't know, but she was my school teacher of English teacher. And then after, it was a kind of memorable things for me, which is related because of the school. I want to just share because of this moment, because the school teachers, and then after she realized that, called me later on, because she was not able to call by that time. She called me and she thanked me a lot. That make me so proud of that moment.
Yes, especially about
Yeah,
things coming full circle.
circle, yes.
So, do you have any flight stories or things that involve other members of your family?
Uh, Nah, I don't know, because professionally we fly, so we have to fly. That's all.
Yes, maybe coming soon in
Maybe, yeah,
few
definitely
years.
yes.
Regarding the whole concept that I went about uh, planes and flying and the risks associated with it, are there any other life lessons that you can share that you've learned along the way while soaring through the skies?
I Yes, definitely. What I want to say is to all, even myself, to my friends, colleagues, and whoever I meet, life is like it's all about piloting. Like the whole life is about like piloting, and the other I mean factors like your family, teachers, school, for sports, your gadgets, whatever you have, your own belongings. Those are the other elements related to fly and make a safe flight. So you are pilot in command. So life is like a pilot. Get control. You have whenever you have control, you can do it better. If you don't have a control, you lose it. So I what I have learned through all my experience is the only thing is the hard work. Go for it, and then after discipline, I already told you, and because being a pilot only does not let you to go do your work, come back home, eat and sleep, get a good earning, because it also enroll you in getting the technology well. You have to be in shape, physically fit. You have to be mentally sharp, because critical decisions are taken when needed. So you have to be smart, you have to take proper rest. So it's kind of the whole things you have to adapt yourself. And I think that are the character, that are the nature everyone should comply with.
Yes, now looking towards the future, what are some changes you think are coming up in the aviation industry now that the next generation should be ready to handle?
For now, I think biggest sense, as all of us know is AI. That will definitely change aviation very soon, according to me. It will it but the thing is, aviation sector will obviously change, because everything will be controlled automatically nowadays. Some of the airports have already started implementing those kinds of sorts of things. You can go and check, we do research as well. That will change, but for the future generations, I think aviation is one of the career. If anybody is looking for, changes will come, but there will be sort of manpower definitely for everything, because ultimately pilot has to fly the aircraft. And the changes is every more or less in every country there is a boom in the aviation, so there will be high demands of personals. But if you are technically sound, and AI, these days everybody is about the technology. So yeah, there is a lot of opportunities for future generation.
Yes, definitely what you mentioned about technology being updated and being aware. So, is there anything else you'd like to share as a conclusion towards Babylon and everyone who might be watching?
Yeah, for Babylon, uh, I'm not that much enrolled, but whatever I see, that's good, that's enough. And there is always a chances of, because there is always a chances of progression, because it's a life is a continuous learning process. There might be something. Yes, I would definitely suggest, if they could interpret and get enrolled of students to know the AI from the basic points, not for the, in a high level, but in the basic points, which will definitely help students to get more and more about this technology and develop their career. They might know something earlier than others will know. So interpreting and enrolling those things in schooling career will definitely boost up the students.
Yes, and one last statement from you, as you are a parent of the school first before
Yeah,
other things. So, is there anything else you'd like to say about that?
I want to say I'm really happy, because Parthavi started her schooling career from here only. When she was, everybody says, home is the first school, but for me, school is the first school. Second is, I didn't have time. She started his schooling from the very beginning. So she is like this is her second home, and she doesn't know. Even she doesn't know there are some school exists also because. And I'm so happy. I don't want have. I don't. I have not seen anyone like from my side, from my other family members. I see she's taken good care of. She is having good food in the school. She is doing good. I didn't give her any kind of pressure, but she is doing good. She's fearless. She understands what, and she speaks what she understands. So those are the things, and she is active in physically. She's playing sports very well. So yeah,
It's about all of the different
all of the different
aspects.
aspects she is having. So I'm pretty much happy.
Yes, thank you so much for your time today, sir. I know you're on a very busy schedule. Thank you for coming and sharing all of this with us. I will definitely take the points that you have mentioned with me moving forward. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, and I'm feeling so honored to be here. Thank you, Baby team as well, and especially you.